How you doing, guys? Today I'm going to show you what I've done over the course of the last couple days, which is to port the intake and the exhaust ports on my Magnum 14 to get it ready for the bigger cam and a couple other little goodies. As you can see, the intake has been pretty hogged open. It looks like I did a lot more than I did, really. I basically just sanded all the rough area off. I did open it up a little bit in this area. There was quite a bit of ledge right in this area, so it's all smoothed out. The top has been all smoothed. The sides, where there was also, if you look down in here, there was also pretty big ledge right in this area. So all that's been smoothed out. You ask, or you may wonder why there's a couple studs, because I do have a Midwest Super Cub carb spacer, which is going to go on like that, and it's basically ported straight through with the carb spacer. So there's basically there's absolutely no ridge. There is a little bit of a divot right here, but there's not much I can do about that. That's how the port was casted, not what I actually did. The other thing too is with a carbureted engine like this, you do want a little bit of roughness to cause a little bit of turbulence. That way the fuel and the air stay mixed. If it was fuel injected, that'd be different. Then you just totally polish everything in and out. As for the exhaust, same idea. I just totally took off the ledge, opened it all up. Definitely, smoothed out the big ridge that's at the back of the port. And then if we come around here, I did smooth all of this out. It's perfectly, you rub your finger on it, it feels real nice. I did leave the threads in the port. I know that does affect exhaust flow, but at this moment in time, I'm not quite ready to rip them all out. I'm going to leave them in for right now until I figure out exactly what I'm going to do as for an exhaust. The other thing I did too is I came up on top and I just smoothed out this this sharp edge. Went all the way around, if you're familiar with the Kohler engines. So I just smoothed it out. I didn't want to go crazy hogging it all out. I just smoothed it all out, both the intake and the exhaust. And I did it basically from this point to this point on the intake, because that's theoretically where the air was going to flow. And basically from here to here when it comes to the exhaust, because theoretically it's going to go back in. The tools I used were pretty simple. I used a die grinder with a roto file. Got that from McMaster Car. I didn't really use this a whole lot, only because I didn't want to go crazy in there. Just wanted to lightly get the big stuff off with this. And then what I ended up doing was going to my Dremel with a flexible extension, and I went to the sanding drums. I happen to have the fine sanding drum on this right now. I think that's a 120 drum, but I used an 80 grit drum on this to really, because I can really get in and up, down and around, down. I did an 80, and that really is what opened it all up. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm not going to go much more. I think I've done enough. The bigger opening here does suffer a little bit of low end torque, but really I'm planning on running this engine a little bit higher, as I indicated, than stock. So with a carb spacer, the bigger port, an opened up carburetor, I have the longer duration camshaft for it, which should help it breathe a little bit better. I am going to figure this out in this area, but at least the bulk of the exhaust port is done, so that should be done. Now I could polish this area, get this super smooth, because exhaust is just air. There's no atomization required for that. But so, and then if we look down in there, you can see that they're nice and smooth, even from this direction. So I'm happy with it. It did take me, I'd say 2 or 3 hours of port probably to finish. So I did a little bit yesterday, did a little bit today. Still, as you can tell, I haven't honed the block yet. You can see the factory hone. It's there. So this block is in good shape. I haven't honed it yet. I will. I'm getting to that point. But as of right now, I finished the port job. I guess I could technically say I unshrouded the valves, but I really didn't because I didn't go crazy. I smoothed out the valve area. I still have to do a valve job. I got to get my cutter out and do the seats. I'm not doing that today. I'll do it some other time. But there you go. Hopefully you found it interesting. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please subscribe. This engine project, the tractor project, will be continuing in the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping to have a little bit of pulling done with it. I'm also hoping to have it at the Wheel Horse Show this year. So if you like it, thumbs up it please. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video.